Hey guys, it's Madison, and today is Saturday, November 19th, which means that today is the day of the Topik Baragi Siom, so the topic speaking test, the first ever topic speaking test. It is currently 8:20. I just came out of my apartment, and I'm about to head to Seoul. I'm going to Baehwa Yojadeakyo, I think is the name, and I have to be there by 11:30, I think. That's the last time that you can go inside the testing facility, and it takes just over 2 hours, like 2 hours 7 minutes, I think it said. So I have about 3 hours to get there from now. But I wanted a big buffer time because number one, I'm always late, and number two, I didn't want to worry about like if I missed a stop or something, or if I went the wrong way on a subway. I wanted to have some buffer time so that I wouldn't have to be anxious about the traveling part and the test part at the same time. So I'm about to go hop on the subway, and yeah, I will see you guys in about 2 hours, I guess. Just got to the subway station, and literally as I was walking downstairs to where you catch the subway, it was pulling away. So I'll probably have to wait for about 15 or 20 more minutes for a subway to come, because Incheon subways do not come very often, so boo. But hey, this is why we plan a buffer. This is why. So I guess I can review some stuff in my topic book while I wait. So after getting out the subway, I've been walking through these like small kind of roadways and wondering if I was going the right way, because this doesn't seem like the way to go to a university. But nope, here it is right in front of me. Oh, it's not showing up. But this is the gate to the school. I'm here about an hour-ish early, so I'm probably just gonna go to where I need to be and just kind of chill there for a while, look through my book and the tips, and go inside when I can. But here we go. So false alarm, this door is locked. So I'm gonna try and find the main entrance, because I'm sure this is not it. So I'm gonna find that. Thank goodness again for buffer time. But I'm gonna go find the actual way I'm supposed to go in, and then study with whatever time I have left. 테스트. So just finished the test. I'll explain my thoughts and feelings a little bit later when I find a more comfortable place to sit. Right now I'm just sitting on the side of some stairs on Beihwa Yeoja대학교's campus. And yeah, I didn't realize how long it had been since I'd like been to Seoul and like walked around and like looked around in Seoul. And I didn't realize how different Songdo, which is the city where I live, feels from a lot of Korea. Like Songdo is very flat, but that is not true for most of Korea. Like there's mountains everywhere, there's lots of hills up and down, and that makes also like really pretty views, which is why you can see Namsan Tower from here. Like that's what makes Seoul so beautiful. Well, one of the many things that makes Seoul so beautiful. And also Daegu had a lot of mountains near it as well, but something about Seoul just feels a little bit different. I don't know. So yeah, I was surprised at how hard nostalgia hit me when I like turned around and saw Namsan Tower there, or like when I don't know, just up on this hill like looking out over Seoul. I was like, ah, Seoul, 오랜만이야. So yeah, I don't really have any plans for what I'm doing after this. I'm kind of starving. I had a couple of grapes that I bought at a 편의점 before I took the test again. Another good reason I have a buffer is I was able to go and buy a snack and get some real expensive, real giant grapes. But so I had a couple of those. I still have some in my backpack, but I'm hungry. So I'm going to go find a restaurant around here and then figure out if I want to do anything else in Seoul since I came all the way over here. I think this campus is like right next to Gyeongbokgung, so I might head that direction. It's also been, I think, since 2016, so 6 years since I've been there. So I don't know, I'm just gonna walk around for a bit, find some place to eat, and then see if I want to do any sightseeing after that. I'm just kind of passing through the courtyard of Gyeongbokgung just for a second because I still haven't eaten. I decided not to eat at the Sejong Mal 음식 문화 거리? Is that what it was called? But I decided to eat jimdak instead, so I'm gonna go on the other side of the palace and get some food. And there's like no one near me, and she had to walk right next to me. But yeah, I'm gonna go and grab some food. There she goes again. But yeah, wow, it's been so long since I've been at the palace. It's nice to see it again, all the traditional roof painting of flowers and traditional feel and all the hanbok wearing people. Lots of tourists, very busy. It is a Saturday, so it makes sense, but yeah. Anyway, I'm now officially starving to death, so off I go through the main entrance to find some food. hello from the future. I originally had planned to film my thoughts about the test itself and my predictions the day of or the day after the exam, but day after day kept going by and I kept putting it off further and further, and here we are a couple weeks later actually, on a very gloomy, rainy day. So first of all, I kind of wanted to walk through the process and kind of experience of taking the test before I get into the actual nitty-gritty of the questions and my predictions. But yeah, like I mentioned in the actual video, you have to be there by 11:30. They actually open the doors at 11. So I was there a bit early. I was sitting outside eating my snack of grapes, and actually a girl came up to me and started talking to me, which I actually caught part of that in the video. And at first my introvert self was like, oh my god, stranger danger, don't talk to me. But actually, it was pretty good to chat with her. It was a nice girl from Vietnam, I think she said. And like chatting with her a little bit in Korean before the exam was actually a good warm-up for me. So, and then just a minute or two after the doors to the exam opened, so I was able to go get in line. At the door to the building there, they were checking identification. Do make sure that you like check what forms of ID they accept, because there was a girl in front of me who didn't have one of the accepted forms, and the staff were like, can we take this? I need to make a phone call. So like make sure that you check and you bring the correct form of ID, because I have no idea if that girl actually ended up getting in or not to the exam. And then after they check your test ticket, I guess, and your ID, then you go up and find the room that you're sitting in. It's taken on the computer. Like you saw in there were little cardboard things separating all the desks. I'm actually not sure why, since all the tests are the exact same. It's not like anything would be on your screen that someone could cheat off of. You're literally just looking at the same information and then talking into a microphone. So I don't know why they block off the computers like that, because it's hiding like nothing basically. But yeah, I was a little concerned at first with how close everyone was to each other. Like if you saw, like there's like a seat like right next to me, like literally 1 foot away. And I was a little worried about like that person sitting there talking so closely might be distracting. But thankfully for me, the one that was like literally super close attached to my desk, I guess, was like, they didn't attend. There was nobody there. So I looked out there. Across an aisle, there was a girl probably like 3 or 4 feet away from me, but it ended up being fine. You have headphones, so it's not terrible. And then, yeah, since I was there at the beginning, I got in, I was probably sitting down by 11:05, and the test started at 12. So I had quite a while to kind of just sit there and stressed out basically about the exam. Thankfully, I had my book, so I was able to flip through a little bit and review the tips. But honestly, I was so nervous that it wasn't really helping to look at the tips again. I kind of just sat and just relaxed and just kind of observed the people around me and tried not to think about the test too much. Before we were even required to put our phones away or any of that, we were able to go ahead and like click through the first couple pages on the computer just to like test the sound, make sure the microphone was working, that kind of stuff, which is how I got that footage. I was not illegally filming anything in the testing room. And then before the exam actually started, we had to, of course, turn our phones off, just put them away somewhere. He handed out pieces of paper, or a piece of paper that you could take notes on, as well as a pen. You had to use their paper and their pen, and they collected those at the end of the test. And then the test began. I thought it was kind of odd, actually. I'm not sure about the other testing room or rooms that they had at that location, but in my room, it was about half full, if that full, like maybe even less than half full. So I don't know if the people just paid 80,000 won and then just skipped the test. What a weird experience. But anyway, it was about half full. The only knowledge I had going into the test basically was one Reddit post that I had read about someone's experience, and then taking the practice test on the topic website. And according to the Reddit post, I was a bit nervous because they said that they were given really like flimsy headphones. And so the sound of everyone else talking during the exam was really distracting and not very helpful for taking a speaking test. But thankfully, at my location at least, the headphones were very good quality, or the headsets, I guess I should say. The headphones were very noise canceling. Like I even had to like basically take them off whenever the proctor was saying any information, because I could not hear what he was saying if I had my headphones on. You can kind of hear like from the outside, but it was pretty good at noise canceling, I will say. And then the microphone as well was pretty good. I was pretty satisfied with the setup of the headphones and the microphones, so Can't promise all the locations, but from my experience, it was a pretty good headset situation. Despite that though, like during the test, you definitely can hear people speaking around you, but for me, I didn't think it was that big of a problem. Again, if you're not really familiar with the setup of the test, basically what happens for each question is they read the question and it's like synchronized, so everyone's screen is doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. So they play the question for you in your headset, and then you're given a set amount of time to prepare, and then there's a beep, and then after the beep, you can start talking and speaking your answer into the headset. So everyone is speaking at the exact same time. The mics were pretty good. They were like very focused on just your voice. Like you could hear slight mumblings and grumblings in the background, but it was like what you were saying was still very clearly picked up through the mic. But what that also means is that when that beep happens and you're supposed to start speaking, like you can hear the room, even through the noise canceling, go from like dead silence to like as everyone starts talking into their mic. But again, it's like through the noise canceling headphones, so it's not like you're really hearing distinct voices and thoughts. And even if you could, like even like if someone's right next to you, for example, for me at least in my experience, I was so like focused on like saying things that like you can't really hear other people through the noise canceling headphones, like what they're exactly saying over your own voice and your own thoughts. And then after the exam was over, there was that little period where you can go through and click on all your answers and listen to them if you want to. I just basically clicked through. I didn't really listen too closely to any of them because I don't know, for me that's a lot more stressful than just ignoring all your answers. I don't want to hear all the horrifying mistakes that I made during the test. So I just kind of clicked on each just very briefly to make sure that the sound had gone through. Again, I'm not sure what happens if like it didn't record. I don't like, it's over at that point. I'm not sure if they'd be like, oh, how strange, that was a technical difficulty, take it again. But for whatever reason, you can listen to them. And so after that, you can like submit your score. And then there is a survey at the end asking about your testing experience. And after that, you are free to leave. So yeah, that was the process of the exam. Pretty simple, all through the computer, all synchronized. And basically, from the start of the test to the finish, it's like 18 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. After the survey, maybe it's like 25. I don't recall exactly, but it's a really short experience. You're in and you're out. So going through the actual questions on the exam, again, they increase in difficulty and in length of speaking time and prep time. But the first question was really simple. It was just like, describe one of your friends. And I was like, okay, I got this. That was pretty easy for me. So I was able to rattle off an answer for that. The second question, okay, I grabbed my topic book so I can go through and remind myself of which style of question is in which order. So the second question is, you see a picture and then you hear someone ask you a question. Oh, I think it was like a directions style question. So like asking how to find some place, or like, is this the right place? You had to like direct them somewhere else. So like giving directions. It wasn't really difficult, but I don't think I did as well as I could have on answering that one, to be totally honest. I kind of mumbled my way through a few parts of the question, but overall I think I did fine. The third question is when you have to like look at a sequence of pictures in order and like describe what happens throughout the sequence, if that makes sense. And this one, the actual contents of the pictures were not difficult to me, and I like looked at each picture and kind of thought about what was happening, but man, did I mess up in my speaking portion of this one. Like the picture showed someone like running in a race, like preparing for a race, and then starting the race doing well, and then like falling behind, but eventually finishing like struggling, if that makes sense. And I was doing fine, and like I thought I had it, like in the prep time, I thought I had like, okay, I got this. But I realized like once I got to like picture 3 or whatever, like, wait, how do you say like fall behind somebody else? And so like I totally froze during my speaking time and just like sat there for like, I don't know, 10 seconds or something, just being like, crap, how do I express this? Before finally just like mumbling out something about not running fast anymore and like, or like running slower than the other. I don't know what I said, but it was not great. I had a long pause and then a rough recovery from the pause, but I did finish going through all the things anyway, so very rough, not as great as I would have wanted, but it was not good. Question 4. What is question 4? Oh, finishing the conversation. So this one, there was a guy and a girl and I was the guy, and the girl was asking for like, hey, I'm thinking about like traveling. Should I go with a like tour guide kind of planned group trip kind of situation, or should I just like plan my own trip? And I had to give advice. And so I thought I did decently. Questions 1 and 2 are the easy ones. Questions 3 or 4 are the intermediate ones. And then questions 5 and 6 are the advanced ones. And whew, makes me feel like I'm not an advanced speaker, because once I hit question 5, let me tell you, I struggled. I was most worried about question 6, because at least for question 5, like they give you some sort of figure or graph or like information that has words on it. So you can at least reference, like have a point of reference while you're speaking, versus question 6 is just like you have to listen to like multiple questions and like recall and answer all of them eloquently. So I was worried about that one, but question 5 was the worst one, I think, for me out of the entire exam. I'm trying to recall what the question even was. Oh, it was like, gosh, how do I even describe it? I vaguely remember it was like public resources that people want like more of, and then like by age group. It was like, it felt like a lot of information. And so I spent way too long summarizing the information in the graph, like most of my time out of the like 80 seconds, which is not what you're supposed to like in 1 or 2 sentences describe the graph and then move on to like discussing why do you think this is happening, or like why do you think this information is like this, and like what influence might it have on this group or whatever. And then I realized, I was like, crap, it's been like 45 seconds and I've only been describing this information. Even then I was in like mid-sentence, so I had to like hurry up and like finish my thought and then move on, and I did not get to everything that I needed to get to. Ugh, it was just terrible. Question 5 was horrible. So I was like, oh no, I better understand question 6. And thankfully I did. Question 6, the topic I understood totally well, which was like, whew, thank God. It was talking about like people like in society these days come from a number of different cultures. And so like talk about how you should, like what attitude you should have towards people from other cultures, what problems can arise if you don't understand, or like how should you like approach people from different cultures like in conversation, and then like why is it good to have different cultures living. I don't know, it was like I said, question 6 is like a beast of like just a lot of different things that you're supposed to kind of like talk about in just one answer. Thankfully I understood the question. I muddled my way through it. I don't even recall if I really adequately answered each of the like 3 parts of the question, but I definitely showed that I was able to like semi eloquently, I don't know, like, you know, in a relatively clear fashion discuss the points of the question that they were talking about. Again, if I could do it again with more time to plan, would I speak totally differently? Yes, but I managed, you know, I showed the test evaluator, whoever that may be, that I at least understood and knew how to talk about the question to some degree. So I ended up not doing that badly on question 6, all things considered, but man, after the dumpster fire of question 5, it was kind of sad. So question 3, where I totally froze during the picture sequence, and then question 5, where I just spent way too long describing the picture and not actually answering the majority of the question. Those are my 2 roughest ones. And yeah, so as far as predictions go, who freaking knows? I have no idea what score I'll get. Like I said in my cramming video, I don't even know how the scoring system works. Who even knows where the 200 points come from and how it's evaluated? I have no idea. But just based on like what the levels say they match to, I would guess that I got level 4, maybe. I could actually, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be so pessimistic. See, I'm not sure how strongly question 5 and question 3 will impact me. I don't feel deserving of a 5 or 6. So yeah, grade 4, level 4, is where I'm gonna put my prediction. I'm not sure if I'm overconfident, underconfident, dead on, who knows, we'll see. The scores come out this month, December, let me check, December 23rd, which is in a couple of weeks, a week and a half from now-ish, a little over a month from the test date. So not too long I have to wait until I can see my results and see how close I am in my predictions. So yeah, anyway, that was my topic speaking experience. If you have any questions about the exam or what it was like, or anything else, let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's all I had to say in this video. So until next time, 안녕.